कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकि कोकिलम्। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताया पतये नमः। जयत्याश्रितसन्त्रास ध्वान्तविध्वंसनोदयः प्रभावान् सीतया देव्या परमव्योमभास्करः परमव्योमभास्करः।
श्रीमते निगमान्त महादेशिकाय नमः। All these episodes, you must have noticed my humble self commencing the episode with these words, Srimate Nigamanta Mahadeshikaya Namaha. Shrimanna, Shriman, Shrimati, Shri. These are all prefixes that we use for any common person as well. We say Shriman Ji, Shrimati Ji. So we are adding some auspiciousness to the person, be it the man or the woman. So besides Shri, the letter which denotes Shri Mahalakshmi, the mother Jagannatha Mahalakshmi has consented that her name, which is Shri, which is that letter, can be prefixed to her children as well. That is why even scriptures are referred to as Srimad Ramayanam, Sri Mahabharatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, Sriman Narayaniyam, Sri Vishnu Puranam. So this Sri, Srimad, Sriman, all this is added to even our granthas, our holy scriptures, and they are added to the human beings as well. In that case, why can't it be prefixed to great Acharya Varyas, like how we have had Sri Adi Shankara Bhagavat Pada, Bhagavad Ramanuja, Madhvacharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nimbarkacharya, Vallabhacharya, we have had Appaya Dikshita, many Acharya Varyas in Bharatadesha. It is innumerable. One such Acharya Varya, great preceptor, who came in the lineage of Bhagavad Ramanuja, who guarded the philosophy of Vishishtadvaita, who was a prolific poet, was Swami Vedanta Deshika. He was born roughly in the year 1268 CE. And he lived 101 years, 101 full years. Saumya Kartika Rakashri Paryankarohanaya Namaha is one of his titles. So, he attained Vaikuntha Prapti in the year 1369. So, for 101 years he survived, and in those 101 years, he gave us more than 100 works in Sanskritam, in Tamil, in Manipravala, which is a mix of Sanskritam and Tamil, and in Prakritam. In the due process, this Swami, who was born as Venkatanatha, was given the title Vedanta Deshika. That Acharya is also called Deshika. So this Deshika, this Acharya, has a full grip over Vedanta, Veda's Antima Bhagam, which is Upanishad. So he has got good knowledge in the Karma Kanda and the Jnana Kanda. So he was called as Vedanta Deshika. Vedanta is also called as Nigamanta. So Vedanta Deshika can also be replaced with Nigamanta Deshika. That is why I start all my episodes with my humble obeisances to this prolific Acharya called as Srimate Nigamanta Mahadeshikaya Namaha. In his lifetime, he gave us many poetic works. Of them, Paduka Sahasram is a crowning jewel because he composed this compendium in a span of 3 hours in the holy sacrosanct town of Srirangam. In those 1008 verses, he describes the Vaibhavam, the salient features of Paduka Devi. You remember, for the Western world, for the modern world, there is a difference between a non-living object and a living object, which Vedanta also sees. This has Jivatma, this has Jnanam, this doesn't have Jnanam. This is how even Vedanta sees. But on the emotional side, you must have noticed many children after the demise of their mother or father will be holding one of their objects very close to them. So this is the emotional side that we have. Similarly, Bharata had to be bestowed with Rama's presence in Ayodhya. But Rama said that for 14 years I will not be able to come. So he had to send his representative. So his representative in our assumption will be somebody like a Lakshmana, Sita or some human being. But he sent his padukas. In Sanatana Dharma, for great Avatara Purushas and Acharya Varyas, the objects that they have used will also have a lot of Vaibhavam attached to it. For example, Rama's Paduka, Krishna's flute, Acharya Varya who lived in the 120 years, their spectacles, their danda, their Padukas, all this is very important in Sanatana Dharma. Hence, the Padukas were sent by Rama to Bharata. Second, in Sanatana Dharma, we view the female and the male energy as a couple, as a dvandvam. So, if the male energy, as per many Acharya Varyas, the rishis of the Vedas, the mantra drashtas, Valmiki, Vyasa, Parashara, Shukka, Shaunaka, all of them in their eyes, if Sriman Narayana is seen as a part of the Paramatma Tattva, then Mahalakshmi is the balancing half. So together Mahalakshmi and Sri Mahavishnu, Mahalakshmi who is Sriman Narayana, both of them combine together to make the divine couple, the Paramatma Tattva. So there is a male energy and a female energy, if I have to give modern words to it. In such a scenario, this female energy to the divine couple, Sri Mahalakshmi, manifests her attributes, her qualities such as incessant, uninterrupted and unadulterated love for the Jivatmas in various ways. This love is called Vatsalyam, Audaryam and so on. This quality gets manifested into various Devis. Sri Devi, Mahalakshmi is the ultimate. But she manifests where she gives substratum, base for us to live, for all the animals, for all the human beings to stay. So she becomes Bhuma Devi. She becomes a source of our enjoyment. So she becomes Nila Devi. She is the one who showers mercy on us. So she becomes Daya Devi. She is the one who supports us, supports even the Lord during his avatarams. So she becomes Paduka Devi. In Sanskrita Bhasha, every word, especially the nouns, will have a gender associated with it. Uma, Rama, Saumya, Saundarya, Lata. We use all these ending words, right? Generally, ending words most of the times will be Strilinga Vachaka Shabda. So they will denote as three. Aparna, Chandika, Uma. Similarly, Paduka. So it is feminine. Moreover, it is associated with the holy feet of Rama. So she would have acquired the sacrosanct feeling of Mahalakshmi. So together she is called Paduka Devi. Even our acharyas go, Padukas will start like this, go further, become thin in the middle and then go back again. Similarly, the shape of a perfect man and a perfect woman as per Samudrika Lakshana Shastram is broad at the shoulders, thin in the hip and then goes broad again. So she also has a formation of a Devi. So she is referred to as Paduka Devi. Vedanta Deshika invokes the blessings of Paduka Devi in Paduka Sahasram. One shlokam. निःशेषमम्बरतलं यदि पत्रिका स्यात् सप्तार्णवी यदि समेत्यमशी भवित्री वक्ता सहस्रवदनः पुरुषस्वयं चेत् लिख्येत रङ्गपतिपादुकयोर्प्रभावः निःशेषम् अम्बरतलं यदि पत्रिका स्यात्. The poet Vedanta Deshika states, well, I have got into this Herculean task of describing the greatness of Paduka Devi in my work. When you may convert Nissesham Ambaratalam Yedipatrika Syat, you may convert the entire vast expanse of the sky into papers. Imagine converting sky into papers. Nishesham Ambaratalam, without leaving even a bit, you are converting all the skies into papers. Nishesham Ambaratalam Yadi Patrika Syat, let those become papers. Saptarnavi Yadi Sametya Mashi Bhavitri. I need to write the greatness of Paduka Devi in so many papers. If you give me 1 or 2 papers, A3 size sheet, A4 size sheet, I cannot write. Sky should become the paper. To write in so many countless pages where the sky has been converted to papers, I need ink. Where will I get the incessant flow of ink? Because the way he explains, I think the ink stock will get over in all our e-commerce sites. So where should I go for the ink? Saptarnavi yadi sametya mashi bhavitri. Extract the nylium. Nylium is the ability to be blue. The blue color from the waters of all the 7 oceans. Saptarnavi yadi sametya mashi bhavitri. Let that become the ink. Sky has become paper. Blue from the seas has become the ink. Now, somebody has to write it down. They have to say and write it down. Generally, our parents will also say it aloud and write, then you will remember. So, he says, Vakta Sahasra Vadanaha. He says, let me now write it down. After that, somebody has to say it aloud. I cannot have a one-headed person. We are all having one heads. Let us now invite the 1,000-hooded Adishesha, because Adishesha is the first servant to the Lord. He is an embodiment of knowledge. It is said that he was reborn as many acharyas like Bhagavad Ramanuja, Patanjali Bhagavan gave us Yoga Sutras, and he also gave the commentary on Panini's Ashtadhyayi. So he is called as Bhashyakara. Then the same Adishesha became Ramanuja, who gave us the very famous commentary to the Brahma Sutras called Sri Bhashya. So he is called Sri Bhashyakara. Be it Bhashyakara called Patanjali, Sri Bhashyakara called as Bhagavad Ramanuja, they were all essentially the avatars of Adishesha. So Adishesha is an embodiment of knowledge. So the 1,000-hooded Adishesha should become the speaker. Vedanta Deshika says, sky becomes the paper, blue from the seas becomes the ink. The speaker is the 1,000-hooded Adishesha, Bhakta Sahasravadanaha Purushasvayam Chet. Even then, imagine, even then, Likheta Rangapati Padukayor Prabhavaha. You will never be able to describe the greatness of the Padukas of Rama and Ranganatha, who was worshipped by Rama. So, Vedanta Deshika says, you give me the sky as the paper, blue from the seas as the ink, speaker as the 1,000-hooded Adishesha. I will attempt giving the greatness of Paduka Devi. But at the end he says, even then it is not sufficient to tell the greatness of Paduka Devi. Nishesham ambaratalam yadi patrika syat saptarnavi yadi sametyamashi bhavitri vakta sahasravadanaha purushasvayam chet likheta rangapati padukayor prabhavaha. He says, just one verse has so much of quintessential knowledge in it. More verses I will give you next episode. Dear Astika reader, I am happy to be authoring a 2-part book on the Ramayana in English. The first part is slated for release in the year 2024. The book aims to recreate and retell the Ramayana of Valmiki, conforming to the ancient commentaries and other allied literature. To receive notifications of the book release, kindly register with www.deshikadaya.org/books. Namaskaram.